Welcome back, everybody. We are here with another recap of a WHF war. This week in a midweek random, they took on Reddit Omega. As you can see, WHF pulled away with the victory, 88-85, 98.50 to a 96.77. I got a bunch of recaps here. I have two 10v10s, I have two 11v11s, and I have two 12v12s that was performed from Reddit Omega on WHF, a 6-pack by Jelly. So let's go ahead and get into those raids, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. So the first hit that we're going to be recapping here is a 10v10 by Mas Booby on their number 22. You'll see here this was a cold-blooded hog attack, essentially. So as you can see here, what he ended up starting with was dropping the golem to create as a tank for at least this archer tower. And he has a multi-target inferno that he's going into, so he doesn't have to worry about it locking onto his golem and taking it out real quick. Then the wall wrecker is meant to go straight for the town hall. It's going to create a path directly in line with this town hall, as you can see right here. It's going to break through all of that in the base, which is going to allow the rest of his troops, the queen and the king, to kind of step up and pull and kill the enemy queen. The objective in these types of raids is you want to kill the queen and you want to take out the CC and as many splash damage buildings as possible. So he ended up taking out the bomb tower. He had Valkyries in the CC, and as you can see here, this creates a nice kind of wedge out of the base. So you can see that he starts his hogs already down here, but if you break the base up into kind of quarters, differently like this, not exactly quarters, but kind of like that to see kind of the sections here. So if he broke into this, he had this kill squad in this one section. You have number 2, number 3, and number 4, meaning this whole section right here was removed. This would then say, okay, I want to come at the edge of that section and then hit the base just like this, exactly how he does, and you want to move into a counterclockwise or a clockwise formation around the base. So as you can see here, he removed this whole section, and then it was basically an L shape remaining in the base right here, and so he just came around the base right here, covered the rest of it with heals as the hogs are trailing into the base. The queen still had ability, so she was able to get some more value in terms of the expo, in terms of the bomb tower, and that definitely helped save these hogs here, especially towards the end. But you want to, if there's another multi-target inferno, you want to have the heals 100% cover that whole range of that multi, so that when you're moving through, it doesn't hurt the hogs as much. Plus a single target you can kind of overwhelm. But as you can see, he made his way right around here, dropped the more hogs on the edge here to kind of keep these middle hogs kind of going through this base. Then he has the final poison on those skellies, moving through the space, and just like that, Mas Booby getting it done. The hog fresh triple, so he had no idea what was in the CC, since it was not a lava, which helps let the queen get through the base a little quicker, so it wasn't locked on to the lava hound. But it was a beautiful hit, fresh 10v10 by Mas Booby for WHF. So the next one that we're going to get into is going to be number 13. All right, so the next one we're going to take a look at is Golly's hit on number 13. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. This was not a fresh hit, so Golly did have a previous hit to see exactly kind of where Teslas were, what was in the CC and whatnot. So let's go ahead and take a look. For an air attack, one of the biggest things you want to take a look at is where are the sweepers. So you can see the sweepers are pointed in these directions, meaning if you can somehow come at an angle to avoid them, that's actually going to make a big difference in an air raid. So let's go ahead and take a look at Golly and the value that Golly got from just dropping his heroes to create a path for the balloons, for the lavas and balloons essentially, to move through the space. So Golly drops that baby dragon down to help start the funnel, and then the king and the queen are going to get dropped next. And so that he's essentially letting the baby dragon create that funnel. So now the king is essentially going to run this way since the baby drag did its job, right? So the queen is going to get started right behind, and the queen is meant to most likely step up and grab this air defense or whatever else value that she can grab. But since this whole section right here was removed, the king has nowhere to go but through and up this base, right? So as the king is helping remove the top side, it's going to allow the queen then to step up down below. So there goes the queen. So she's going to remove that air defense. And let's see where else she goes. So she does not get this air defense here. She's going to continue to go to the 12 o'clock position. So let's see how Gali kind of reacts and see what he does to fix that. Because I believe his initial plan was to get both those air defenses with that push. So you're going to see Gali drop some balloons first, and then he's going to drop the lavas. You can essentially kind of drop the lavas first, or if they're far enough away, you can drop the balloons so that you can kind of time it. But as we can see here, if we pause these balloons are making their way through here, and then the lavas are tanking for these balloons. Then you have the blimp, right? The blimp's going to make a straight beeline for the town hall, which is going to be right through this path as the blimp's going to follow. And the blimp is going to act as another lava hound, essentially. Then you have balloons coming behind that blimp, and then this one is moving its way through just like that. So as these guys move through here, and these balloons move through here, he's going to be able to overwhelm the base and push his way through the base just like this, as you can see. And then Air Sweeper doesn't know where to kind of get his shots off, and he's just going to continue to push his way around the space and get a ton of value with that hero kind of push and whatnot. And in the CC, it was most likely a Lava Hound, so he didn't have to worry about it. So if you see a Lava Hound loon in the CC, then you can do a Sui type of hit just like this, which can work really, really well. And I recommend it, especially if you don't have to fight a CC. I 100% recommend trying to see if you can do a Sui La Loon and just completely ignore the CC. It works really well. All right, so the next one that we're going to take a look at is number 5. So let's scroll on up here. This is going to be Shakagram hitting their number 5, which was a fresh hit. So this was coming in here with I believe a cold-blooded hogs as well. Go Hobo. And he's got the golem down. He's going to have bowlers as well to push through this base. But the point of the wall wrecker is essentially to create that path to get to the core, get to the queen, and get that value. Right? So you're going to see the heroes get dropped right behind. That golem and the wizard help kind of create a little bit of a funnel on the top side there. The king is actually probably going to run down and around, which he did not want. He didn't break this wall, but this was a fresh hit. So if this was hit already in kind of the funnel, he would have done the funnel a little differently to get probably the king in. The wall wrecker did not make its push all the way in, so he had a jump spell with that plan. Valkyries come out of the wall wrecker, making their way through. He does have the warden, which he already popped the warden ability, and so the queen was able to push all the way in to get this eagle artillery, which is huge if you can get that value in a kill squad push, right? So if we pause this, and you can kind of see the hogs already start, but if we kind of break it up again, just like this, if we kind of think about the base into sections, right? So if we think of this as the first section, number 2, number 3, and then number 4, right? He had this kill squad entry take out section 1, and then it's gonna be come around the base just like this, like we talked about before in the Town Hall 10, but at another level, at a Town Hall 11, right? So this was the section. Here's kind of the L shape, right? And so he's just gonna come at the base just like this, around it, and be able to take it out. So as you can see, the hogs have already been started. Got the heal spells wherever the splash damage buildings are, moving his way around, and he's gonna continue pushing through these skellies, try to overwhelm them. He's got the heals. The queen ended up staying up and helps out take out defenses that are down here at the south position. Has 2 more heals to push his way through. As he's going, kind of just going to be able to overwhelm this. Queen is helping with the DPS on these buildings here. Has 1 more heal to drop. Would drop it by that wizard tower, but he decides to save it. There it is, comes down, and now it's just a matter of time. And remember, as you get the hogs down, You want to, if you can, get wizards down here, archers and whatnot, start to clean up as these hogs are moving their way through, because otherwise you're going to run into a time fail issue. So you can see he does have the cleanup over here, but he did get lucky with the queen walking out. It could have been essentially, who knows, a time fail or whatnot if there was just only archers on this side and no wizards, because it would have taken him forever to get through all that. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up the base here, getting it done, and there you go. Shaka Graham getting this fresh 11v11. Wonderful hit. Nice job. So the next one we are going to take a look at is Nicogram. Yes, there are a lot of counts that have Graham in the name, and no, they are not all the same person. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So this is a 11v11, kind of like a Sui, but he does have a Skelly for the queen. So let's see what he does with the Wall Wrecker and Skelly of how he's going to address this base. So let's go ahead and see here. So he drops the king down south at 6 o'clock, drops the Wrecker just a little bit left. The king's then going to kind of create a funnel down here, and then he's going to pop his ability to get all that down. He's going to drop the freeze on the single target inferno to let that Wall Wrecker continue to go through the base. Out comes the CC, drops the poison on it, so it doesn't have to worry all too much. And the Valkyries are in that CC, take care of it, take care of the single target inferno, no problem. And they're just moving their way through. Gonna grab the Expo, gonna grab the air defense and the king. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what is the positioning, what would he need to get down for the rest of this base. So let's see, so this was the kill squad. So this was the first entry, right? This was the first portion of the attack here. So if we look, what is remaining? Well, we've got air defenses on this side down here, and we have the sweepers that are pointed this way, right? And the other sweeper is pointed this way. So you can kind of come at the base at two different ways. You can come at the base like this and try to fly over across the base, or you can come at the base like this and hit the air defenses first and then finish up at 12 o'clock. I usually recommend coming into the air defenses so that your hounds can kind of tank and as your balloons come into that area. Otherwise, what happens is you might run into an issue where the hounds just fly across the base and your loons don't have enough tanking to take out the defenses. But the queen did end up helping and took out this air sweeper that was in the core. Drops the warden behind the balloons, drops the Skelly on the queen, but the queen does jump the section, which is annoying when that does happen. So you have to kind of be careful and try to get the positioning on that queen when she's in a pretty large section. So as he's moving through, drops a heal on that final section, has some distraction balloons to distract the wizard tower through the top side of this base, and then as you can see, now it's just a matter of time and cleanup. So Nicogram getting it done through the ear. Very nice job on Aaron. Here you go. Now it's just timing. Beautiful hit. Getting it done right there. Okay. So the next one we are going to look at is actually going to be from the Reddit Omega side. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see in the bottom left of the stats, Red Omega did get two 12v12s in this war. So we're going to show the love over on their hits as well. And it was not just two 12v12s, but it was Jelly who got the two 12v12s and got that 6-pack. So let's go ahead and take a look at his first hit here on ODB. He comes in with a kind of like a Bola Loon, but has the Golem, has Bowlers, has a Wall Wrecker to make the push into this base to get an incredible amount of value. Has a jump as well, and 5 hastes. So in this instance, what he decided to do to use the queen to kind of create a funnel, didn't drop a giant, decided to let the queen kind of absorb that damage. This base was hit, so he knew what was in the CC as he was going through. Drops the Golem over here. There was no other defenses that could target this wizard, so he created that funnel on the left side. So this funnel was created, this funnel was created, meant he could then push his way directly into this base. Drops the warden with the kill squad push, made sure to get through, drops the jump spell, which then gives him full access to pretty much this compartment, this compartment, this compartment, and this compartment. It's a beautiful jump spells placement, drops, hits the Warden ability through the Town Hall. That wall wrecker is still going strong. Now it pops, out comes more bowlers, and look at the value that he gets through this push. Gets the queen, gets the 2 air defenses, gets the Town Hall, doesn't have to worry about that. Beautiful job. Now it just comes to Lalo. Drops the lava to kind of tank a little bit as the balloons kind of then are going to move their way through. And there's the next lava, and then it's just kind of a clockwise positioning of coming a clockwise formation through the space. Has the minions to clean up on the edge as all the balloons are moving their way through the base just like this and finishing on the end down there. And then he's just going to push his way through with the hastes. And it was a beautiful job with that kill squad push through it. As you can see, ODB had the Tesla farm on opposite side of the base, kind of down south, kind of maybe prevent the push directly into the queen compartment. But Jelly took the jump and was able to easily get the queen and so much value through this push here. It was a beautiful hit. Drops that freeze. Didn't really need it all too much, but it did help. And it was just a matter of cleanup now. Wonderful hit by Jelly on ODB. Very, very nice. Really like the value that Jelly got on that hit there. So let's go ahead and take a look at Jelly's next hit on number 1 on Timmy. And he came in with a completely different attack, not the same. And this one was a queen walk into miners. As you can see this base, he decides to take the miner straight to the Town Hall as long as he got that funnel down. So as you can see here, the king's job was to create a funnel just like this. The queen's job was to go here and create a funnel and remove all this. If this was all down and this was all down, and then it's just mass miner right through the core of this base. And he dropped the wall wrecker to tank all these point defenses just like this. Out comes a baby dragon and lava. So just drops the poison on the baby dragon, doesn't have to worry. And gonna pop that warden ability right before that Town Hall would go down. Out comes the CC. The Town Hall goes down through the warden ability. Nobody gets hurt. Queen Cell's ability has a bunch of miners going, pushing through the space. Remember, if you have miners, they can get under that Town Hall, that Giga Bomb, quick enough before it explodes on them. So they're one of the few troops that that bomb doesn't really affect all too much. Pretty much everything else, hogs, balloons, if you don't have that warden, they're going to be gone. They don't stand a chance, even under a heal spell. You need that Warden Aurora in order to have a chance at surviving. So now it's just a matter of all the miners just mass pushing through the space under heals and just going to finish up just down south, pretty much on the right side down there. And the queen stays up, no worries. It's a mass miner, beautiful hit by Jelly. Took advantage of exactly the weakness of the space. It's a beautiful job with the king funnel, the queen, to get the value walking down around. And then it's just a matter of the miners getting it done, as you can see here. It's a beautiful hit. Definitely wanted to showcase this one. Yes, it was Reddit Omega, but hitting our bases. But hey, a very nice attack deserves to be shown as well. So it was a beautiful hit. I don't know. I'm an air guy, so I will be upgrading my miners soon, but who knows if I'll end up actually using them in war, maybe. Who knows? But as we go ahead and take a look at these stats here, we did get one 12v12. They did go 2 for 4, so that was Jelly getting the 6-pack. We did get the 9 for 15 11v11s. They struggle a little bit with only getting 4. But they did do better in terms of less hits for 10v10s. They got 14 for 30, and we only got 13 for 31. And they might have had 2 9s in their breakdown. Obviously, it was just a random spin, so we didn't have any 9s, but it was still very nice attacks across the board. I'm sure we're gonna see Reddit Omega pretty often here, but GG over to the Reddit guys, and it was definitely, I wasn't in the war, but I know it was a very close one there in the end. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, let me know and we'll be doing more of these in the future, recapping midweek wars, recapping invite wars, having a lot of fun. So, till next time, you all have a wonderful evening. Carbon signing out. Peace.